Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm going to be doing a series of comparison tests of radar detectors. Got my trusty Valentine 1 here, which I've been using for many years and very much love, and then I've got this new K40 that was sent to me to evaluate, and I'm just getting familiar with it. And just to point out a couple of differences between the two units, the K40 is GPS connected, so when you first get going, it will give you a compass reading, and it also tells you your the speed that you're actually traveling, and it's pretty accurate. If you can see right now, it's indicating that I'm going 44 miles an hour, and the speedometer on the Chrysler 300 says about the same. So that's an interesting feature that it has, and it has the compass heading as well. Something that it doesn't have, though, that the V1 does have, is the directional indicator, directional threat indicator, and that's long been one of the V1's big selling points. The V1 will tell you whether the threat is coming from ahead of you, from behind you, the left or the right. And I think that they have a patent on that. I'm not certain. I haven't seen other radar detectors that have that feature. Another thing that I don't think the K40 has, I'm not sure, I have to dig into the specs to find out about this, but I don't think that it has the ability to detect radar from behind you. The V1, let me get going here and I'll point this out to you, has, in addition to the forward-mounted radar signal detector, it also has a rear-facing one. Oh, and incidentally, by the way, I should tell you that the reason I have both of these units mounted in the way that I do, I've basically stick them to the dashboard of the car, and that's for stealth purposes, because I live in the one state in the country where radar detectors are illegal, which is Virginia. And so this is sort of a stealth mounting system that I use that makes it harder for the revenue collecting set to notice what I've got, and makes it much easier for me to just quickly snatch it off the dash and stash it in the event that I have to. Anyway, final observation, and I want to make sure that I state this very carefully so that there's no misunderstandings. I have complained, as many of you who follow my rants know, about the way that some of the in-car safety technology, such as blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, collision avoidance, etc., generates false threat signals in radar detectors. My V1 is probably about 5 years old, I guess, and so it continues to get false alerts because it was made before all this stuff became widespread. Now, I know Mike Valentine personally, and they have updated the V1. So the current V1 has a new filtering software that eliminates this problem, or so Mike tells me, and I have every reason to have faith in what he says. And I plan to test an updated version of the unit, and I will report on that. Actually, as it turns out, it's very convenient that I've got this one to test out, because I have not sent my V1 in to get updated, just because I know I'd be without it for, I don't know, a week or two, and I just don't like driving without a radar detector any longer, because I think it's just foolish given how rapacious law enforcement has become and how stupid traffic enforcement has become. So you'll notice that my V1 is beeping, and it's indicating that there's a K-signal threat coming from behind me. There is no K-signal threat, it's just the car. Now the K40 isn't indicating anything because it does have the latest filtering software, so there's no beeping, and that's a plus for that unit for sure. I will have more, both video and written, up at epautos.com, and I think this should be a very interesting comparison and discussion of radar detectors in general. So thanks for viewing. By the way, I'll be on the Brian Hyde show in, I think he's in Nevada. Boy, I can't remember. I've been on his show a couple of times, but I'll be on his radio show today at 3:15 Eastern to talk about asset forfeiture. You may have been following the latest obnoxious case where an older guy was traveling, or trying to travel, to Europe with some cash to buy some property, and it's his money. There's no question it's his money. It wasn't money that was gotten from some illegal, nefarious activity. It was just his money and happened to be in bundles of cash, and the government thugs simply took his money. That's right, they just took his money, just like in Deliverance. If we want your money, we'll take your money. That's what we're dealing with in the United States, a supposedly free country where due process of law has been flushed down the toilet, along with the Fourth and Fifth Amendments and most of the other amendments that are in the Bill of Rights. And I'll be talking about that more on the radio today. So thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.